How's the you got a little jacket on? Is it getting to be fall back there? A little cool yet, or?
Yeah, it's actually pretty chilly out here. It's definitely hoodie weather. Yeah. Some days you need a big jacket, but it's winter in Philly, the East Coast. It's different up there.
Yeah, no snow in San Francisco, so you'll be shovel-less. Be good until we.
I know, leaving all the big coats home.
Yeah, exactly right. So we'll give everybody like one more. It's like 1:29. I'll give everybody like one more minute to hop on here, and we'll get started and get you all squared away. Like I said, this will just be just a few folks that cover us on a regular basis. We have 3 or 4 beat writers who travel with us all year long, or travel with us during a normal year. San Francisco Chronicle, the Oakland Tribune, ESPN, the Athletic, NBC Sports Bay Area. So we have about 4 or 5 that are with us pretty much full time, and then obviously other media as well. So they're all on here, and we'll get started in just a minute. So you ready for some turkey tomorrow? You hungry? And
I'm so ready. They're in there prepping a little bit right now. My mom, my wife, my sisters.
Nice.
Sister-in-law. So we got all the women's hands on deck right now.
Nice. There we go. Good. And then when you on the plane back here? Not this weekend again, right?
Friday.
Friday, yeah.
Yeah.
Quick turnaround. This will make for a nice book when everything gets done on how this last year's worked out for everybody. Just crazy.
Right.
Crazy. All right. So it's 1:30 now. I don't want to waste your time, especially it's the day before Thanksgiving. So for all you on the call, if you have any questions for Brad, just please give him your name and your affiliation, and we'll get started and try to keep this relatively short for him.
What's up, Brad? It's Anthony Sider from The Athletic. I'm just curious how this free agency kind of went for you. Was it what you were expecting? How many teams showed interest, and then how'd you end up deciding on the Warriors?
It actually was pretty quick. A few teams actually did reach out, but it's all about the right situation and where you can see yourself fitting that. So a few teams that showed interest. But for me, it was a couple of teams that I really liked a lot, but Golden State fit the most. It was one of the teams that kind of came on to me the most and really showed the strong interest. I would say that they showed strong interest.
What did you learn in Boston, particularly last year, about kind of playing a bench role on a winning environment, a playoff environment? What did you kind of learn?
Just ways to impact the game. Reading the game. Every game it's each game within. Every game is different. So from the bench, you just got to read it. You see how things going. Are we doing one thing well? You just try to come in and keep that going well, or is we lacking in one thing? Just try to pick us up in that. So just reading the game as a whole and just figuring it out. Hello?
Yep, go ahead. Connor, anybody got more questions on here?
Oh, no.
Connor Letourneau, San Francisco Chronicle. Brad, obviously you spent 7 years in Europe before you went to the Celtics. I'm guessing you have some interesting stories from your time overseas. What comes to mind when you reflect on that chapter of your career?
Just an everyday grind. Overseas, there's nothing given to you. In a blink of an eye, your job could be lost. So it's just the mindset of bringing it every day. And I carried it over to the NBA, and in which I played every day as if my job is in jeopardy. Overseas, there's so many people that's trying to get a job. And if you have 1 or 2 bad games, the team is constantly moving on to the next player. So I keep that mindset with me to this day. Just going out there grinding and working hard and just trying to be the best me I could be out there on the floor.
Obviously, there's not a ton of examples of guys like yourself, American guys who go overseas and then end up coming back to the league at this stage of their career. What went into the decision to go to Boston? I know you were in a pretty good situation in Turkey at the time.
The NBA was always my dream, and I always wanted to play in the NBA. And, as I got older, I kind of doubted myself that maybe I wasn't just good enough to play in the NBA. And then when the Boston situation came, it was a thing where I wanted to prove to myself, or I don't know if I was able to play. It was one of the things when the opportunity came, I wanted to take the chance and see am I really made for the NBA, or am I just a guy that's just gonna play high level basketball overseas? I seen a transition in a guy named Malcolm Delaney. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yeah.
He was overseas for many years, like myself, and then he came in and signed a 2-year deal with the Atlanta Hawks. So we pretty close friends. And when he did that transition, I was really happy for him, because a lot of times when you go overseas, you get stuck over there. And for him to make that transition after several years overseas, it also gave me more motivation and confidence that I could do the same.
How nice is it just the past 2 years to be stateside and have, all the chain restaurants and have the stuff that you're used to? I'm sure you miss some of that stuff overseas.
Oh, man, it was like a different world because, you get so used to being overseas and just get so used to a certain culture that you kind of forget your own culture. So, I had to come back and adjust to being in America and just, it was really great. And obviously I was in Boston, me being a Philly kid. My parents and my siblings and friends and cousins was an easy 4 or 5 hour drive or hour flight up. So, it was constantly me seeing family, which was different from overseas. Overseas is 8, 9, 10 hour flights, and everybody's not making that trip. So it was great for me more so because I'm a family guy and I love being around family and friends. So it was great for me to be able to connect with them on a daily basis and not just over FaceTime.
Brad, this is Wes Goldberg with Bay Area News Group. You played with 2 teams now, the Celtics. You're going to play with the Warriors. Both teams are up-tempo, ball movement heavy teams. Is that just sort of the style of play that you're seeking to be a part of?
Yeah, I think Golden State is a little bit more up-tempo than Boston. But just get out and play transition basketball, is one of my strengths. I like to get up, pick the tempo of the game up. Obviously, Golden State have had so much success in that style of play, and I just want to be a small piece of that puzzle, and just bring to the table what I can. I definitely see myself fitting into the system, and I'm excited to get going.
What do you think this team can be defensively? That's kind of a little bit your calling card off the bench. Obviously, Draymond, and you guys have brought in a bunch of long wings. What do you think you guys can be defensively?
A really good defensive team. You just look down the rosters, as you said, there's a lot of guys with really long wingspans and able to, deflect or make the floor a little bit more crowded. So we got to use our length and our strength and just try to be a really good defensive team. And also defense leads to easy offense, and we want to play the up-tempo basketball. Obviously, it starts on the defense end.
Have you had any initial conversations with coaches, players, guys like that?
Yeah, I actually just was there. I just came back to Philly yesterday, but I was there for a couple of days, and talked to a few people out there.
What's your initial impressions? Philly guy, went to Pitt, played in Boston, now West Coast, and what was your initial thought on the area and the organization?
Well, I was pretty much in and out, so I really didn't get a chance to explore the area, but it's definitely gonna be different. Me just always been on the East Coast my whole life, besides being overseas. It's definitely gonna be different. Obviously, I know some people out there which I can connect and maybe show me around a little bit, and obviously some of the players. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm all about learning a new culture or a new way. I hear it's way slower than the East Coast. They say down here in Philly and New York, we always in a rush or moving so fast or talking so fast. And the West Coast is pretty much real relaxed and slow down. So I'm anxious to see what's going on out there.
All right. Anything? Any other questions for Brad? Or
Yeah, I got one. This is Rich with LetsGoWarriors. Hey, Brad. We've discovered a lot of very impressive numbers for you, like true shooting percentage, 3-point percentage. But one thing that kind of stands out for fans is you led the league in free throw percentage. So some of us are kind of wondering in the fandom, in Dub Nation, okay, if you're on the floor with Steph Curry and there's a technical, who gets to shoot the technical?
Steph Curry, for sure. He's the man. It's his team. He get to shoot that.
Also, real quick, is what number have you chosen?
10. I chose number 10.
Can you explain why? Because you were 9 last year.
I mean, obviously, Iguodala were number 9 there. But, you know, it's my 10th season. So, I don't know. It was one of the numbers that was available. I didn't really put too much thought in it, but it's definitely my 10th season as a pro. So, I don't know. I thought just to go with 10.
Thanks.
But how did you become such an elite free throw shooter? Was that like, did you have a certain amount of free throws you were getting up per day growing up, or what really went into that?
Honestly, to tell the truth, I don't practice free throws that much. It's more so just a concentration thing. You know, I was never say 80s and 90s free throw shooter. If you check my stats throughout my career, but you know, it was just something I needed to concentrate more on because I like driving to the basket and I get fouled. So you know, it's just I don't know, just one of the things that you know when I get there, I just focus on me in the basket. It's more so just concentration.
Do you have any previous relationships with anyone on the team or in the organization?
No, I don't.
Is there anybody or anyone in particular you're kind of excited to play around? I mean, I can envision you and Draymond kind of making sense as a defensive pairing, but like, have you envisioned any of that yet?
I haven't. You know, it's all still pretty new. You know, me and my family, we're still talking about it and things like that. But, you know, to play on a team with guys like Steph and Draymond is definitely a special. You know, what Steph could do offensively and Draymond do defensively. You know, we just want to try to help as much as possible to make the game easier for them, especially with Steph on offense and with Draymond on defense. You know, get him a guy out there that got his back and, you know, just try to talk and communicate and just try to be a leader when I can.
I was just curious. You said on the Jason Dumas interview with KRON that you'd spoken with Steph and Draymond, not about basketball, just saying hello, things like that. Was that a group phone call or individually? And how do you know them?
Yeah.
I mean, how close were you with them before?
Well, I didn't have any previous relationship with those guys. I actually met Steph when I still was at Pittsburgh. He was in the NBA. One of the assistant coaches, Jason Richardson, was his point guard at Davidson, and they're pretty close friends. So Steph came down to one of our games, and I had met him then. But I don't have any close relationship with any of those guys. Me and Draymond, you know, we talked about a little bit about him saying I had the biggest head in the NBA. You know, I had to say something to him about that. But you know, it just was cool talking. You know, just basketball players talking. It was nothing more than that.
Last summer, how seriously did you consider, after that, you know, up and down first year with Boston, how seriously did you consider going back overseas? And how much has changed for you just in the, you know, from then until now?
I've never seriously considered going back overseas. You know, obviously with the way the season went and me not getting much opportunity, I'm pretty sure many people speculated that I would end up going back over. But you know, I still had that hunger and that chip and that confidence that a team would come and give me opportunity and I could show what I could do. Obviously, you know, as the season ended, Boston reached out and, you know, me being who I am, I just wanted to go and just, you know, redeem myself, if that makes sense. You know, just go out there and run it back and give it another shot with that team because I knew the system, I knew the guys there, and I knew what coach wanted. So I wanted to go back there for a second year and, you know, just try to redo things and, you know, see how things played out. You know, we had moved some pieces away, specifically some guards, Kyrie and Terry Rozier, and which was a lot of minutes that opened up in the guard position. But compared to that first year and the second year, a lot changed because, you know, opportunity came. You know, the beginning of the season was kind of slow, just finding my way in. But then, you know, we had a few injuries. And when a few injuries came, it was time to go. You know, I showed what I could do and gave coaching them confidence that I could be out there for long minutes in the game and produce and actually help the team win games. And once they seen that, you know, obviously they gained confidence that I could be out there. And then when guys did come back from injury, I was in rotation. So, you know, it just was taking advantage of opportunity. You know, a few guys went down and I got opportunity. I just took advantage of it.
It seems like every young guy that goes undrafted nowadays tries to go the G League route because obviously maybe a little quicker route to the NBA. Do you hope that your story kind of serves as a blueprint for guys and shows guys, hey, you know, you can go overseas and still make it too? Because I think a lot of guys maybe don't even understand that is a worthwhile path as well.
Right. Yeah, I think it's opening up more and more to guys, and they're seeing that you can get over there, and that teams are actually scouting harder overseas, maybe than the NBA G League, unless you're on that two-way contract. So my first year, I played 2 games in the G League, because I wasn't playing so much, so I asked the team, could I go down and play some games? And I just went down and I talked to some of the guys on the team, and I was telling them, like, I understand this grind, I understand your dreams wanting to make it to the NBA, but it's not really worth it to stay 2-3 years in the G League to chase the NBA dream, where you can go overseas and make damn near quadruple the money you're making in the G League, and also you could experience a different culture, and you could be the man in another country, and develop your game, because you sitting here not playing the minutes you need, not getting the reps you need. It's hard to develop your game in the G League because you're all fighting for one thing, and then when you go overseas, you get that chance to play and display who you really are, and teams see that, and obviously they see your growth in your game and they give you a chance.
Brad, it seems like you took pride in coming off the bench and being a difference maker in Boston. Is that something that you feel like you could show some of the younger players in Golden State? Is that something that you want to be able to do?
Yeah, I just go out there and try to impact the game and just try to do what I'm good at. Obviously, there's always somebody watching. Obviously, young guys pay attention a lot. So my thing in Boston was just when opportunity presented itself, just to go out there and play as hard as you can or produce as much as you can. Obviously, you see we had a lot of young guys in Boston, and every day I was talking to them, just trying to get them confidence and just motivate them in ways, because sometimes it's better to hear from your peers than the coaches, because sometimes you're struggling to coach off just saying anything to make me feel well. But I'm just going to try to go out there, play hard as I can, and hopefully somebody see it and picks up on it.
All right. I think that's about it. Brad, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. Have a terrific Thanksgiving, and we will see you back over here on Friday.
All right, guys. Have a good one. Thanks for